that in the podcast.
Oh, we live. Oh no, we not live.
Welcome to Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. We here after a crazy Milwaukee Bucks victory over Phoenix in Phoenix, mind you. In Phoenix, you can catch us on our platforms before we get into the whole situation. A couple other topics, we can address too.
We're gonna talk some Philly too.
Yeah, we're gonna talk some Philly. But you catch us on our platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and what's the other one?
You say iTunes?
iTunes. There we go. But yeah, I mean, a crazy victory. Milwaukee defeated Phoenix. The game was, it was a great game. It was an incredible game. You had a number of people come together from, hold on one second. My bad. You had a number of people come together from Milwaukee to make this thing happen. Middleton, Giannis, Drew. They all stepped up to ball out. You had whatchamacallit step up on Phoenix. You had Devin Booker, who led the charge, and Chris Paul kind of came through kind of late a little bit. Bridges played all right. You had a couple solid performances, but ultimately, man, Milwaukee did their thing, and they walked out of there. What was it, 5-point victory, 4 or 5-point victory they walked out of there with?
Yeah. Sometimes does it go down as a team who just wants it more because they got the loose balls, they got the offensive rebounds. It seemed like every time they needed a play or they needed to get a ball or they needed to get the rebound, they went and got it. They did what they had to do to win, man. They big three. Middleton 29, Holiday 27, Giannis 32, man. And Holiday had 27 and 13. They big, and I said this before. If their big three come to play, they not losing. They not losing, man. I think they got Phoenix reeling. They got Phoenix really bad. Reeling bad. I got a bone to pick with Chris Paul, though. I do not like what he did to Giannis on that oop. That's dangerous. The way he pushed Giannis on that oop at the end, you can't do that. I don't know why I ain't view that for a flagrant foul, man. Chris Paul got to be careful. He do a lot of little stuff like that. You got to watch him. He do a lot of little stuff like that, man. I like Chris Paul. I'm a Chris Paul fan, man. I won't say he dirty, but he do a lot of stuff like that.
I agree. Go ahead, Tim.
All right, so game was good. This was a really good, entertaining game. This is the last game. It was the highest played game in a long time. This series is just a good series. Highest watched. Yeah, my bad. But as far as Phoenix was balling that first quarter, they scored 37 points in that first quarter to 21 points for the Bucks. But after that first quarter, it was all Bucks.
It was
because the Phoenix shot 70, I think 74% in that first quarter, and they looked like they was going to have a really good game as far as like winning going away. But something about this Bucks team, they're earning my respect by the game. Drew Holiday, he's that boy. He's seriously. Because think about it, they was down by 1 point, and I think Devin Booker had the ball in his hand with like 16 seconds left, so they could actually go up and take the lead. And all the momentum was on the side. Booker had previously hit a 3-point shot that actually cut that lead, and then Drew made the play of the game. He stole the ball and then got the deflection, got the steal. It was a quick moment. Then he gave an alley-oop to Giannis. There was a quick, like a 4-point swing, just like that.
Yeah. That was, as much flack as I've been giving Drew, and just in our personal chats and all that kind of stuff like that. One thing I honestly think, and I was talking about this a little earlier with my wife, because I watched it. I'm gonna kind of go off base a little bit and come back around. I was watching the documentary they did on what's the tennis player girl, Naomi Osaka, I think. Osaka is how you say her name. Because she's going through a lot of mental health stuff right now. She dropped out the tournament and all that. But the reason why I bring her up is because during this documentary, she was watching it and taking in a lot of the the talk about her. Like during the whole thing, she was watching, obviously she watching her highlights and all kinds like that, but she was watching what a lot of the talking heads had to say. And I firmly believe that a lot of her mental health, because she kept saying there's all this pressure on me to win after she beat Serena in the tournament. She said now it's so much pressure on me to win again, but I think she was adding some of that pressure on herself by listening to everybody say how much pressure it is to win. I say that because I was watching an interview with Drew Holiday, and he was saying how he was like, honestly, I don't listen or watch that stuff. So I honestly think that adds to your performance a lot of times because you're not putting undue pressure on yourself. Some people could watch it and it makes them better. It kind of makes them put more pressure on themselves and they perform better. But some people don't need to have all this energy, negative energy, or this pressure, because some people, like they say, pressure busts pipes. Some people pressure make diamonds. So I think in Drew's case, he don't listen to that stuff, and I think that helps him in his game. He's free to play and feel how he want to feel about the game and what adjustments he wants to make without hearing nobody else. Well, he need to do this or he need to do that. He just play basketball. So sometimes you're gonna have a good game and sometimes you're gonna have a bad game. But he's been playing better than not because I don't think he listens to a lot of the outside talk.
Yeah, he came through. I can't even knock him. Drew came through because he had a couple clunkers, real bad.
He did.
Real bad games.
He did. He had 13
he came through.
The last game, 13 points. So but today was a very impressive win. And Drew said this before. I think he was on JJ Redick's podcast a year ago, and he said the same thing, that he don't even listen to or the media, or he's not subscribed to all those other outlets. And
I mean,
maybe
I
Ben
think
Simmons should do the same thing.
I think they helped Drew out a little bit because usually, like, they had him switching on like Booker, and they just had him staying with Paul a lot of times. So I think they helped him from not having him overexert himself.
I see him on 8 and 2. He play everybody.
He do play everybody, but I didn't see him doing a lot of checking Chris Paul full court. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So sometimes you gotta save yourself to help yourself and to help the team, because the team needs you. You can't be extending all that energy like that on one end of the ball and one end of the floor, then on the other end of the floor you falling flat. You gotta balance. You gotta have balance.
And I agree with that, but you got to credit some of that to coaching. Like, you was quick to hate on the coach. I don't hate on a coach like you. Like, I think it's some things fundamentally.
He finally made some adjustments.
I could see some. I think he made adjustments all through the playoffs. They came back every series they've been in. You know what I mean? So
don't count that. Please don't count that in that series.
They still came back. I mean, my thing is, they still. Granted, I know what you're saying. Kyrie got hurt and all that, but the fact of the matter is, they still made adjustments to win games. And you got to credit that with coaching. I think the coach probably told Drew, like, yo, listen, tell off that. There's no need to do that. Whether it was him or somebody in his assistant coaching staff or whatever, you still got to give ultimate credit to the coach, because you give credit when they lose. When they don't make adjustments, so you got to give credit when they do. You know what I mean? So I think he's a solid coach. I don't think he trashed. Like, you get Shannon was hating on him, talking about he garbage, the next coach and all. I bet you if they win a championship, I bet you Shannon going to eat them words now, or he going to try to deflect and say it was props. You got to give him his props. Got to give him his props. Especially, I mean, everybody lauding Monty as the next great thing, the next guru, which I think he is going to be a great coach down the line. But if he gets beat by the coach who you saying he was out coaching, remember everybody, he getting out coaching, blah, blah, blah. Now he up 3-2 with a possible chance to win.
Hold on. Let's not act like Middleton ain't hitting some great shots with coverage all over him that he's been missing all game. He still takes them shots that I call bad shots, but he's making them. Let's not act like that's not happening.
The coach got confidence to let him do it. But I mean, the coach got confidence to do it. Your coach could say, don't do it. Or your coach could say, you know what? I got confidence. You've been hitting that shot all year, bro. Take that shot. I don't care if you miss 5 shots in a row. That's your shot. Go take your shot. You got to have a coach to be behind you and not say, that's a bad shot. Get out the game. You ride with the players that you know, and you feel that, okay, this player is savvy enough to put himself in position. I'm gonna let him rock out. So you got to tip your hat to coaching, man. Got to tip your hat to coach.
Another thing you got to worry about, Phoenix bench was non-existent. They only played 3 players, but they scored a total of 15 points, 16 points. 12, 13, 15 points actually. So I was like, if you want to find out a reason, they're not getting a lot of help from anybody outside the starters.
They not.
They should have shot more threes. They should have shot more threes. They was 68% from three.
They probably shoot any.
They probably should have chucked up a couple more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, be honest with you, like, I mean, if you hit it like that, I might have, as a coach, would say, it's your night. Give me some open looks, knock them down. Bridges was hitting. Chris Paul was 3 for 3. Devin Booker, I think, was like 3 for 5 or something. It's 3 for 6, something like that. They was hitting. I might have been like, yo, shoot some more threes because it might be your night. They could have had a historic 3 night. 68%, that's almost 70% from 3.
You see, that's their benches. Both teams shortened their bench considerably. They only only 8 players on both teams. I don't see how that's another thing. We don't have no players that can play those amount of minutes in a game.
I agree.
Listen,
that's some huge minutes. But this is like, I mean, it does go back to the heart of what me and Ethan was saying though about a big 3. Milwaukee's big 3 can legitimately put up buckets. Like, and they got a possible.
Tobias is not on the same level as Middleton.
I've been saying that.
Not at all. Saying that. Not at all. And
that's why Wayne disappeared. He don't want to face the music.
And I agree. And I agree with myself, who said Lopez at the same time can be another scoring option when necessary. Now tonight he only had 9, but one of these games didn't he have like 20 plus points or something like that? Lopez could put up buckets when necessary. So they got 4 legitimate scoring options. 4 of them.
Yeah.
3 of them could give you 30 to 40 any night, and the 4th one could give you 20 plus.
Yeah.
That's big. I mean, I would like to see Bridges take some more shots too.
That was my next point I was going to make.
But Booker took 33 shots, so it wasn't really a lot of ball going around. Phoenix got to find a way to correct this fast. Because right now they look like they was going to blow Milwaukee out. Now they reeling, and they look like they about to get swept 4 in a row. So they got to try to figure this out fast.
DeAndre Ayton, he was getting a little he couldn't compete with Drew Holiday for a little bit. I was
Drew Holiday's strong, man.
That boy was.
Remember we had this argument about Drew and Ben. Remember this, Tim? Remember?
Tim remembers very well.
Remember?
What were you saying, Tim?
I didn't want to say remember. I'm saying remember.
Listen, we don't even need to go down the Ben rabbit hole right now.
You right. Let's keep out the Ben rabbit hole. But
DeAndre Ayton, besides the fact that he only 22, he looked like he about 37. But
he got an old look. He definitely looked like he well into his 40s.
Yeah, he looked like he like him and LeBron, like
came out the same year, like they went to high school together.
Yeah.
But I mean, I agree with you though, Tim. You talk about Ayton is what, 6 inches at least taller than Drew?
6'11".
And you can't get your shot over him. Yeah, like he holding you down like that.
He's strong as an ox.
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing. You got inches on him. You should be able to pull out, turn around, hit the mid range.
He just need a little more. He just need a little more work on his offensive game.
He do, and I think he's gonna be a good player, but he do need a little bit more work on the offense.
And Phoenix don't legitimately have a big 3.
Yeah, but that's why
he should be. He should be the 3rd piece of the big 3.
I don't think he'll ever develop enough offense to be that.
You don't think so?
Has to be more dominant on the offensive end of the game, like early on.
Who?
Mikal Bridges. He has to.
He missed 1 shot the whole game.
I hate them yellow sneaks.
How many did he take though?
He only took 6. He was on his Ben Simmons. He was on his Ben Simmons jump.
We don't need him to do that. He needs to take at least like 15 shots a game.
But you got to remember, you got Chris Paul is. As much as he passes, at the same time, he a little bit dominant. Yeah, he a little bit ball dominant because he kind of sets you up. He almost like LeBron, how LeBron was. LeBron would dribble and kind of just, by the time he gave it to you, a lot of times he gives it to you in such a good position, you got to take the shot. So it ain't like an offense going around where he get touched. A lot of times I've seen possession, Mikal Bridges don't even touch the rock. So it's like, it's either between Devin Booker and Chris Paul, maybe 8. But sometimes the opportunity ain't there. But I agree, sometimes now as a coach, you got to say, yo, he hot. Mikal ain't missing. He 3 for 3 from the 3. Get this man the ball until he miss. That's another thing too. I don't like when you see a player hit a couple threes, two in a row, a couple shots. Yo, heat check. Why are you? Who are you to start? I don't care if you're the superstar. Don't take another shot until he miss. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But that's even street ball. Like if you see you playing with somebody, bull knock down 2 threes, and then you get somebody come down and he want to be Jordan. Like no, give it to the bull. Just hit 2 shots.
I think
stop the goofiness.
I think this is Monty Williams' time because Phoenix is starting to press a little bit. They even that game they's pressing, man. You can see they feel it slipping away. So he has to try to figure out a way to get this team back together, get a superstar Booker back, get Chris Paul back, get everybody back on the same page, man. Because this next game that's it.
It's a do or die. They one game away. I got
it's all for the marbles, and it's in Milwaukee, so everybody got to play, man. You got to have your best game.
Yeah,
I think the boy Cameron Johnson they got gonna be a baller. I think he's gonna be. You give him a couple of years.
PJ Tucker.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be the real deal. Maybe not even here and necessarily in Phoenix because they got, Booker and all that, and Mikal Bridges. They got some nice young up and coming Ayton and all that. If he stay here, he gonna be a nice piece to them. Continue to be in and around the championship, but if he goes somewhere and he able to be the man, he might be able to be. One of them top tier dudes. But who y'all think is the MVP right now if Milwaukee closes out Game 6?
Giannis.
Giannis is gonna get it. But the clutch in the clutch moments of the game, Middleton is making the shots.
Yeah.
But
Giannis is going to get it. I mean, he had 3 40-point games. He led the team tonight too with 32.
Yeah.
So
he had 3 or 2. He had 2 40-point games, right?
Yeah, 3 in a row, didn't he?
No, I think he had 2. If I'm mistaken, he only had 2. Let me fact check. I think I was just looking at it the other day.
But he's still having a great series overall.
I thought Jordan had 4 and he had 3 or something. I don't know. I could be wrong.
They were saying, I think a lot of people was anticipating him getting a third, but he didn't. He had he had 20 the first game, and he had 42, 41, and 26.
Okay.
And then he had 32 tonight. I think people was anticipating him getting that third 40-point game. But yeah, I mean, you can make an argument for Middleton. You can, depending on how this last game ends. Let's say Middleton go off for 38, Giannis had 20, 26 or something. You can make a legit argument for Middleton winning MVP finals.
That 11-point game. That 11-point game Middleton had hurts.
Can Drew get in that? Can Drew get in that conversation?
It'd be a 3-way tie. It's going to be. I mean, it depends. They came up big, but I do still think the main load is on Giannis. I think the only one Drew had 2 pretty bad games in this series. So
10 point and 13 point.
Yeah, and both of them he shot bad. Like it was 4 for 21 game, and I think the other one was like 6 for like
4 for 14.
4 for 14. Yeah, so both of them was bad clunker games. But this is what I'm talking about. This is what happens when you give MVPs, in my opinion, to undeserving dudes like Andre Iguodala, which I want to talk about too.
Of course.
Here we go.
When you give undeserved MVPs the balls, you open up this type of can of worms because Steph was the leading scorer. He was obviously the catalyst of the team. He drew most of the attention. Yet, and still, you give it to a dude who shot, I think, like 35% from the free throw line. How in the world does an MVP who scores less than 20 points a game, shoots 30-something% from the free throw line, win MVP? That blows my mind, just based off of his defense when he didn't even shut LeBron down. But now that, and I say that to say that now that Iggy won it, anybody could win. Drew could win it. Yeah, Drew could win it. Based off of that.
Okay, so 5 years later.
Exactly. It still holds weight because that's who they voted for. And voters probably still the same, ain't they? Who the new voters?
All right, so.
Now, I will say this, though. Phoenix has to do a better job getting 8 rebounds, rebounding that ball from the defensive end. Got to do a better job.
That's true, too.
So,
that's very true.
Game 6, who y'all like game 6?
Ethan?
I like the Bucks.
You think the Bucks?
I told y'all before. Listen, I told y'all, and I think it's on the board. When Phoenix was down 2-0, I said Bucks in 6. I told y'all this.
Things going
Yeah,
seven.
and you took it back. You said it, then you took it back after Phoenix went up, and now you coming back with it again.
Bucks in 6.
Okay, because Phoenix went up 2-0, and you was panicking. I don't know if Milwaukee know what hit them, and blah blah blah. Phoenix don't look like they could be denied. Chris Paul on a mission. I heard it all. Now all of a sudden you told us what now? What you
Bucks
tell
in
us?
6.
Okay. Hey, look, you actually looking right. You did say that at the beginning. I give you credit, but then you ran and recanted your statement. But it is looking like
I just said it wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking good. Man, wait to regroup for Milwaukee though.
Who you giving credit for the regrouping?
They players.
So the coach gets the credit if they lose, but now it's something that they winning, now he'll get no credit.
Yes.
Boys got stop.
He's not drawing up them plays that Middleton is.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't have, it ain't always about.
All he's saying is you go get a bucket.
It ain't about X's and O's. It ain't always about X's and O's. Sometimes it's about just having the confidence to have your player and not pull him. This is what we talked about with Brett Brown, why he killed Markelle Fultz, at least in Philly. He didn't have the Markelle didn't believe it. I had the confidence of the coach to go let me be me, to let my game flourish. When you got the coach behind you and you miss 5 shots and he's like, man, go get that 6 bucket. That's invaluable, man. You can't. That's not X's and O's. That's mental now. Now you playing a mental game and you mentally backing your player to be great. And that's why Middleton coming back.
Or who do you got in the next game? I should say.
Milwaukee at home. I'm taking Milwaukee.
All right, I'm going with the Suns. Suns in 7.
I would like to see it go 7, but I think Milwaukee gonna close it out.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this question. What is the reason why Team USA has lost 2 exhibition games?
Because Steph Curry ain't playing. How about that?
So far in their preparation for the Toronto Olympics, they lost 2 exhibition games, one to Nigeria, the other to Australia. What is the reason behind this?
One of it, we don't. The U.S. don't have all the best players playing.
What do you think is the roster?
Some of it, and then some of it is. I mean, a lot of these other teams got NBA players. Those who play in the league. Now, granted, we got all NBA players, but the league itself or the world itself is starting to close the gap. We saw it several Olympics ago at how these foreign teams, like, was it Barcelona? What team was like Barcelona? One of them teams kept giving us problems every time we would play them because they had legitimate players who've been playing basketball, like Luka. Take Luka, for example. A lot of them dudes been playing professional basketball since they was 14, 15 years old, like That's young true. Bulls. So they starting to close the gap a little bit. And plus, the U.S. don't have the best players. Steph Curry ain't playing. LeBron ain't playing. Who else? Kawhi. Is Kawhi playing? Kawhi ain't on that team, is he? So you got a lot of players who not playing too, who could be.
Yeah, he left, but they actually had the dude from the Cleveland Cavaliers. What's the Love?
Yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that tells you everything you need to know.
Now they got McGee.
Stop playing with me. See what I'm saying?
And they did say that it's been a problem with the players understanding officiating, like how to be officiated by those officials that's not part of the NBA. Another thing was they don't have a lot of point guards in the team. I don't think is there any true point guards that's on the team? Because the one thing we learned is you need a true point guard in this league. You need somebody that knows how to distribute the ball. Like we've been dealing with Ben, who's a distributor, but he's not a true point guard. And as you play tougher competition, this is what happens.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Like you said, man, I don't think they put the right talent together. You know, then they went out and got JaVale McGee. So I really don't know what direction. Maybe they figured they need a big man, so they went and got a big man. I don't know what direction they going in.
They actually said they put a call out to Tobias Harris. What y'all think about that?
But they trying to win bronze?
And I know. I think is it Drew and Middleton? I think supposed to be on the team.
Booker's going
after they get off
after they finish
the finals.
Yeah.
So you got Booker, you got possibly Drew and Middleton. That's going to help the squad out immensely. Now you're going to get some legit scoring forces on there to help out Kevin Durant.
Trae Young was upset about not going. It was funny. Did you see that tweet he put up?
No, what he said?
Mm-hmm.
He put up it was actually a video of Isaiah Thomas when he didn't make the US Dream Team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like he couldn't understand why he didn't make the US team. So he was basically he did the same thing.
He got snubbed.
I met all the requirements to make the team, but he didn't make it.
So who would you have? I mean, okay, so we looking for another guard. So you got Bradley Beal, right?
Bradley Beal's out.
He out.
Bradley Beal's out now.
Okay, that's right. That's right. He got the COVID or something, right?
Yeah, he in the COVID protocol.
All right. So now that he's out, why don't they bring in
Kevin Love out too?
Which one called? Why don't they bring in Trae when he went out?
I don't know.
Who you think makes a bigger impact they can bring in that they still got available? Trae, Zion. Who else is still out there?
I think Steph.
Steph don't want to
play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Steph don't want to play.
Listen,
you bring Steph and you don't need nobody else. You bring Steph and you Gucci, man. Like that's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
I
Steph
think
changed the whole.
Yeah, he would.
You bring Steph and he changed the whole dynamic.
But without Steph, I think the player that can make the biggest impact is probably Zion.
I think Seth Curry can make an impact with his shooting. He'll come in and if you could just get him and just shoot the ball.
Seth though. Them Nigerians probably lock Steph down. They too athletic. They had to lock them down, bro. He wouldn't be able to get his handle right against the Nigerians, man. But
I don't even know why I said
that. But I agree with Ethan. I think either between Trae or Zion could have the biggest splash out of the dudes left playing. But when Booker get there, though, Booker going to be a problem when he get there. So I think he's gonna make a big impact when he come off the final. Barring he don't get injured, last two games.
Let me ask y'all something about.
Okay. We'll revisit this.
Middleton's supposed to be on that team too.
That's what I said. I said that like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, my bad. Let me quick Philly talk. The rumor is in order to get a player like Dame, if he becomes available, you got to trade. You got to put Maxey in the package. Y'all put Maxey in the package? I know a lot of Philly people didn't want to put Maxey in the package.
This is tough for me. Tim, go ahead.
So Dame is 30 years old, and Maxey is 20 years old.
Okay.
And Maxey is working hard at his game. And based on what I saw this year, you can't teach heart. You can't teach confidence. You can't teach speed. These are all the things that he has. And you're already giving up a number one pick and Ben Simmons. I'm still making a trade. I gotta include him only because Dame is a him and Embiid. See, what I won't do is I can't give Thibault because Seth Curry and that's a bad matchup up top. So you need to keep that. You need somebody tall that could play defense. And so I would rather keep Thibault than unfortunately Maxey because you'll have two short dudes up top and we'll get lit up.
So Maxey going, you trading?
I reluctantly, but I would have to.
Yeah, I agree. I think you got me. Ethan, you trading him too?
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say this, because I think we all like Maxey. Maxey done won the hearts of Philadelphia fans. I don't ever see Maxey reach the potential of Dame Dollar. Dame Dollar has reached right under superstar status and maybe right there. He balled hard for years. I mean, the clutchness, hit shots, won playoff series, carried a team to the Western Conference Finals without Nurkic that year. When he was out, it was just him and CJ and Melo, old Melo, so they even like Melo. and Dame Dollar willed that team to the Western Conference Finals, where they thus got swept by Golden State, my man Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. But nonetheless, Maxey, I'm not going to say I don't foresee him reaching Dame level. So with that being the case, I think Dame got another good 4 years of at least playing at the level that he's playing at, and match that what I agree with Ethan. What Ethan has been saying consistently for a long time, beats the window of MVP caliber ball short. And he probably only got 3 good years left of that.
Yeah.
So if you want to get the championship with Bede in this window, Dame is the way to go.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think Ben Simmons is back here next year. Great talking point. He was great for the pod. We had a lot of discussions on Ben. I'm not going to sit here and beat my chest about it. Y'all know who y'all are.
I want to beat my chest because me and Ethan took a lot of flack. We took a lot of flack this whole season when we kept bringing up how inept Ben was and how he was going to hurt us in the playoffs and everybody be crazy. Ben is a superstar. He's a jump shot away from LeBron. If Ben got a jumper, if Ben can shoot free throws.
That's still the case. It's still the case.
And all that to watch him completely melt down the playoffs like me and Ethan said he was going to do. Now, I will say.
Y'all never imagined what he was.
I agree. I didn't think it was going to be this catastrophic. I will say that. What we saw was another level of melting down. However, we did call it.
So with that being said, what does Ben bounce back to?
Regular season Ben. That's it. Tops.
I think he could bounce back.
15.77, Ben?
Yes.
No, I think 22, 7 and 7.
You see?
I'm thinking 22, 24 points a game for Ben Simmons next year.
You think he's going to average? Is he going to be playing for like one of the worst teams in the league? Like for him
Minnesota.
Rich Paul is not going to allow him to go to a terrible team, but he'll go to like I could see him in Minnesota, but Minnesota he'll automatically make them a playoff team automatically.
You think so?
What about the trade? Remember they talk about Sacramento too with the Buddy Hield and somebody else. Forget Bagley.
That makes them a playoff team. You got what's his name? De'Aaron Fox.
That makes them playoff team in the West.
Kings. With the play-in, they expanded the play-in tournament.
That'll be a 10th, 9th or 10th seed in the play-in tournament.
I see them as a 6 seed easy.
In the West.
Why not?
I'm going to tell you why, because you got Dallas, you got Denver, you got Utah, you got LA, you got Golden State, you got Phoenix. No, they're not going to be in those 6 seeds.
If Ben Simmons goes to the Kings and he playing with De'Aaron Fox and he's playing with the rest of them, what's the Halliburton and all them other cats?
And you got whatchamacallit? And you got Memphis. No, and you got Pelicans with Zion. No, it's not happening.
Coach. You still got the Spurs over there.
It's not happening. They will be a 10th seed tops.
I can see them getting in there and balling.
Okay, you can see a lot. You can see Ben averaging 20, and that ain't gonna happen either.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Ben is averaging 27 points next year. I guarantee it.
20 what? You said 20 what?
At least 20 something.
I honestly don't see Ben averaging 20 for his whole career. I don't see him averaging 20 not 1 year for the rest of his career.
Not 1 year.
I see it next year. It's a whole new Ben Simmons next year. Ben Simmons got his mind right, his money right, his game right. He's gonna sit there.
Maxey
will average 20 before Ben does. Maxey will average 20 for Ben.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Listen. Markelle Fultz will average 20 before Ben does.
I can see that too. So, yeah, I mean, what y'all think about I don't know if we talked about this. This happened a little while ago, and I wanted to bring this up because it kind of irritated me.
What's this?
Like a week and a half ago, Danny Green went on some interview
We talked about on the last couple pods.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
You've been
Yeah,
gone.
you
That's
wasn't
why
here.
we talk about it, because you
I
ain't
missed
been.
that.
Yeah, we grinded him up. He had no
Okay.
business doing that.
All right.
I agree with. I said I didn't have a problem with him doing it because the Philly fans be out of control a lot.
Hold up, go ahead. Why you ain't have a problem with him doing? Because what?
I mean, first of all, Danny, he was just saying that we should be a little bit more kid glovish with Ben, because he's just be more understanding.
Because he mentally checked out.
But didn't Ben get cheered the whole time? The Philly fans didn't really turn on Ben until he said he refused to dunk the ball in the Atlantic series.
That was bad.
And that's when I think the frustration just boiled out. For the most part, remember you had the ball, like people behind the court, Ethan Murray, the ball was like this, like
like he got
it was so much encouragement. I don't think I've never seen no fan base rally around a player who was playing so bad to try to make him play better. Danny Green was out of pocket for that. He's out of pocket for that. I thought I listened to that show that I missed. I ain't hear y'all talk about that, but I'm glad y'all talked about it because Danny was out of pocket.
I know how Philly fans feel because I argue with them, and I'm a Philly fan, about the love for Ben.
I still like Ben, so I rally around him. But
Ben get a lot of love.
I am going to say that if we can get Dame Dollar, I'd rather have Dame Dollar in here over Benjamin. But I still support him just from a distance.
I agree. Plus, Dame got a contract, I think, that lasts another 3 years. So you trading him for somebody whose contract is kind of equal, because I think Ben got another 2-3 years left on his deal. So you don't want to trade him for somebody like Bradley Beal unless you're doing a trade. I would love to have Bradley Beal, but I think he only got
signed.
Yeah. He only got 1 year left on his deal. So if you trade him for Dame, that's you getting a player for a couple of years.
Yo, could you imagine what that team would look like with Westbrook and Ben Simmons on there? You talking about bricks? It should be a brick count every game.
Now I will say this. Speaking of, you made me think about what they did to Ben on the ESPYs. That was uncalled for. I think they went low.
It wasn't even that funny.
No, it wasn't a funny joke at all.
It wasn't, and I think they
bringing the kids involved. That wasn't right.
Yeah, they were. I'm all for trolling. I'm all for trying to. Like I said, I think my quote was, "I was trying to hate Ben the greatness." I'm all for that, but they went too far. Like I can't condone that. Come on, man. Like this supposed to be a show you honoring athletes, and I know it's a little trolling in there that they throw in every now and then. But what they did was a vindictive personal attack against the boy character. I ain't like that.
And that's why he has to be, if this doesn't motivate him this offseason, I mean, I know you talk about that 1-point game, but if this offseason don't motivate this man, then he needs to go back to Australia. He needs to go back to Australia.
Listen, you really don't. I don't know what, you've been watching this man for a long time. You should know how he works. He's content with the 16-7-7.
He is.
But for the first time, he realized that the city is not, that people that pay him is not content with that anymore. That's the difference. He may be content, but at one point, the Sixers organization, like he said, I got it. They treated him with
mentally. He doesn't think he needs to do anything else.
But your employer now is saying you do.
They're not his employer. He's about to get traded.
No, but Ethan right though, because the employer, Wayne, you was all comfortable with him doing the 16-7-7. Y'all just not comfortable. He actually went way below that. What was he averaging? Like 9 points, 11 points, 9 points in that Atlanta series. He went way below what the normal Ben Simmons. Y'all was comfortable with the normal Ben Simmons. Ethan Brown he needed to elevate his game. He needed to elevate the structure of his game, not just the points average, but how he gets his buckets. Because when the playoffs started, that's all we kept saying was they're going to key on his weaknesses and they will destroy him. And that's what happened. So
that's exactly what happened.
So I kept saying, I don't care if he gets jump shot. I kept saying he needs that though.
Yes.
He needs that.
Yes. Because they deciphered his game, free throw wise and everything. And they embarrassed him. He couldn't stand the humiliation. And that was part of the breakdown. But hey, like I said, I think he is what he is. He said, I am what I am. I don't think he's ever going to average 20, 24, 28. He's not that type player. He's not.
I'll be honest with y'all. I don't think Joel Embiid wants him back
I agree with that too.
because everybody else on the
Joel
Sixers team.
when Joel want to talk, play 40 minutes a game. Get yourself in shape. Play. I told you his numbers are 60.
See, I get the Ben. Listen, hold on.
This is his game. 60 games, 34 minutes a game. He is 60-34. That's his max.
I'm cool. We cool. We won first seed with that.
Ben has melted down.
We won first seed with that.
Ben has melted down the second round of every playoffs that he's played in so far. Now he's played in what? 3 of them. This is the third one.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
The third one. I don't want to see 4.
Every second round, we look. Remember, we did the thing, Tim. We looked all them stats up. We was talking in our private chat. Every second round of playoffs, his stats have plummeted dramatically.
And every second round,
you know why?
Embiid gets injured.
No, listen. do you know why? First of all, Embiid got into the first round. Washington game. You know why his stats drop? Because the teams get better.
Teams get better.
Yes.
And I kept telling you. Let me stop beating this horse.
Yeah, stop
but,
it.
But looking forward, we gonna get Damed out. I'm all in on the Dame train, man. Dame is my man. Dame got game. He will be him and B and Tobias will be a legit big 3 coming out of the East. B, Dame, and then Tobias playing the third string fiddle boy to clean up points and all that. If Dame off or beat off Tobias, he should be on one of them games. Our big 3 will be legitimate, and we could go in the season with that.
If we get Dame, if Embiid gets injured, we still got a shot to win.
I agree.
That's the difference.
I agree.
Oh, like I was going to say though, I don't think Joel Embiid wants Ben back because he was the only one to start a team. Never spoke up for Ben Simmons once. You had everybody else coming out, Danny Green. You had Seth Curry coming out speaking up for him. You had all these dudes speaking out for Ben, and Joel Embiid is quiet as a church mouse.
You even had dudes who don't play with the Sixers no more, like JJ Redick and TJ McConnell on his podcast speaking up for Ben, and you ain't heard nothing from Beat. I absolutely agree with that.
Joel a sucker though, because
see, what you're not going to do is try to keep us to talk about Ben, but then you going to hate on Joel. Stop that.
Put yourself in Joel's shoes. I think Joel lost it when Ben didn't dunk that basketball. You seen him on the basketball court. He was like, I can't do this no more. As soon as he didn't do that, Joel was done with him. I'm telling you.
I get it.
So was the rest of the fan base.
That's what I said. I get Joel's frustration. But that's corny for him to voice it publicly like that.
He did say it in the press conference, and I bet you him and Ben ain't speak since.
And but it falls back to Ben. Ben got to look at this and take ownership. Like this is the thing is we could very well be a great team if Ben just was played up to the expectations.
I agree.
It's like the way the team is structured and built, we are supposed to win. But we got somebody who's mentally is challenged right now.
Listen, you got to understand Joel's frustration. So you play all year to get here. You're not in this position. You're not going to be in this position a lot during your career where situations are perfect. It was a good situation for us to be in this year. Good situation. And we blew it. We blew it.
Did.
We could have actually snuck in there and won a chip this year.
We could have.
That's the part that irritates me.
Though, I don't think we'd have beat them in the Eastern Conference Finals though.
Beat who?
Oh, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You'll never know. DiCenzo got hurt. You know what I mean? They got Tucker who gives you 0 points. You never know what'll happen.
Never know. I agree. Tobias could have got hot. Seth could have kept cooking like he been cooking.
Maxey coming off the bench.
Yes, you never know, man. This is why I agree with Ethan. I'm irritated. It felt to me like. Remember Toronto, because Toronto snuck in and stole one like that. As much as everybody wanted to credit to Kawhi when he got there, and don't get me wrong, he was a huge catalyst, but they crept in and got in there in a year when Kevin Durant got hurt. And then they get Golden State, and Clay gets hurt. And the boy, what's his name? Kevon Looney, he get hurt. They had so many injured on Golden State team, it ain't make no sense. They was giving DeMarcus Cousins, who was coming off a quad injury, legit minutes. And they crept in and won a championship. So anything could have happened. This is why you know what? I'm getting frustrated all over again.
All right, do you trade Ben if you don't get if you can't get a superstar back?
You might have to bite the bullet and just do something because he's not changing. You might have to do you got to look at your best case scenarios. Maybe Buddy Hill and them are better than what Ben can give you. I mean,
I'm not trading him without getting a superstar.
But you're going to be in the same situation every year if you don't.
What you would have to do, if you can't. All right, let's say we just signed Lowry, right? I think what you have to do, if you can't get a superstar with Ben, you got to take him off the point guard. I think we talked about this before. Got to take him out of point guard position, put him at a power forward or a small forward position, and you get somebody who can run the offense and keep Ben. Ben will be consistently in your dunker spot, and hopefully you can just develop a little bit of offensive game around the rim for him or something like that. And his free throw. Now, see, this is what Ben. Now you're going to have to make sure his free throw is better because you're going to get fouled more down low. So this is the whole. It's so much adjusting you got to do to make sure that Ben can fit into your system now. It's almost impossible.
That's what I say. I'm not selling pennies on a dollar for him. You just can't do it.
You almost have to.
You can't take Ben off the point guard because this is too fragile to deal with that. This is too fragile to go through the whole season not running point. You went to 2 All-Star games as a point guard. You consider yourself a point god. So taking him off the point was not mentally healthy for him, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt him. It's gonna hurt the team. You can't do it.
He ain't want nothing to do with the point guard after he started getting foul trouble and then people start intentionally fouling him. He ain't want nothing to do. He ain't want nothing to do with the ball. So I mean, you could take him off of it.
All right, this ain't gonna work right.
All right, so we'll be back Tuesday after the game.
The game Tuesday?
Yeah, I think they got a game Tuesday. The next game is
Tuesday. They need to spread them out for a week, like one every weekend.
Because after this, it's gonna be over. Then we ain't playing football full time until November.
Speaking of football, what y'all think about Lamar? What y'all think about Lamar Jackson playing with the young boys? Y'all hating y'all hating like Shannon was, or no?
Yes, and I mentioned this earlier. If you got a payday that's going to be making you over $30 million, and you out there playing, to me that's just stupidity. That what you need to do is simply wait till you sign your deal. If you can bring those same young boys, if you want to be an influence on them young boys, play Madden. If you want to play football, play Madden or play NBA 2K or something. Do something differently, but you do not get yourself risking injury. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Ask Jay Williams how he feel about riding his motorcycle and see how that ended up for him.
He's not riding a motorcycle. I don't have no problem with him trying to do something to help better the kids, to try to change these kids' lives. You know, them saying Lamar Jackson out there can change some of these kids' lives for the better.
Them kids ain't gonna change their lives from.
How you know that?
Like the boy, like the boy said on Heat, man, you could get killed walking your dog. So, I mean, anything can happen. Injuries can happen. You could get injured. People be hurt in their own house, walking down the steps. So it's like you out there with the kids. I'm not too mad at that. I understand what people saying, but I mean, if he want to take that risk, then that's him. That's his life. Like, but the only thing I got mad at is Shannon getting mad because Lamar came out and said something. He didn't even say nobody's name. He just said, I had a great time with the kids. We're gonna run it back. Don't worry about what I'm doing, or something like that. To that degree, like don't speak on it. And Shannon got all mad, salty, and butthurt, and all. He thought, "Oh man, I'm not gonna say nothing. Then I'm not gonna say nothing. If that's the case, I'll keep my mouth quiet." And blah blah. Like, yo, you do all this talking. Y'all talking heads do all this talking. As soon as somebody call y'all on the carpet, then y'all want to get in your feelings. So it's like, stop getting your feelings. He says something that if you felt it applied to you, man up and be like, well, you know, that's how he felt. You know, I spoke what I spoke. You know, that's how he felt. That's cool. And move on. Like, stop all this girling that you're doing on the back end. But
he probably took a person. They both Ravens, so you know, he probably took a little personal and everything.
Man, get out your feelings.
But
I mean, girl, you talk about people every day. Every day you talk about people in all kinds of things. You talk about people personal business. You talk about people in the field. Every day y'all talk about people. So somebody mentioned, or you assumed somebody mentioned you, and you want to start crying. Come on, man. I thought you had made it stern to stuff like that. That's kind of disappointing me a little bit. Shannon.
Well, with all that being said, no, that dummy playing pickup game. When you got a deal on the table, you're in negotiations right now for almost $200 million.
Some things are more important to other people than just the money.
If he get hurt tomorrow, he good. He ain't missing no milks.
That's generational wealth that he can get, that he can leave to his children.
That's true.
For a game that you could easily play in another.
Yeah, we don't know what that man doing with his money. He got a lot of money, endorsements and stuff like that. He could be putting money up.
And he's still not the $200 million he's gonna make it in the NFL. The 150, the 150.
He's not making $200 million. He might get that. The NFL money is
okay, but he'll still get $150 million. So why would you jeopardize? What you're saying is jeopardize $150 million so somebody could feel good. So you can make a kid feel good.
You're not making them feel good. You're trying to change lives.
Yeah, so you can feel good.
It ain't about story. It's feeling good and changes lives is different, Tim.
All right, tell me this: you play football your entire life. Who changed your life to make you want to feel? Name a person that you played with that completely changed your life.
I never played with a star athlete as a kid.
So you think your life would be so much better if you played with?
Yes.
No, it ain't gonna be better because
I'll be in a mansion.
It could change. It can change. It could change the direction of your life. You could be headed runway. You could go out there. You could be like, yo, I just ran with Lamar. I think I could really do something with my life, and it could change your whole outlook on the way you're headed.
And that's true. 1 month later, you could still hang out with Lamar after he signs the deal. But why would you risk that money?
A month later,
he can get killed over doing that month.
That kid could be dead in a month. I mean, I'm just saying, this is my how you thought about it. You talking about you asking us, but I wasn't considered necessarily an underprivileged. I wasn't out in the gangs. I had mentors in my life and older men who pioneered some direction for me. These dudes don't got no direction. So a lot of these people trying to help may not have the opportunity. Like Ethan said, tomorrow may be gone. You know how many 15-year-olds? I was just talking in the store, one of the stores I was in, man, a bull 14 years old, it was a 14 and 16-year-old just got killed, got brains blown out in the street up in Wilmington area. Somebody went to rob him and his homies. They shooting back at each other, and 3 people, 2 died, and I think a third person, a girl, got shot in the leg or arm or something like that. So, man, stuff can happen like that with these kids if you don't get them off the street and you don't get their mind thinking that the world is bigger than just your block. It's bigger than just the color of your hood, you Crippin' and Bloodin' or whatever they doing.
I have no problem with that. What I'm saying is you can have that same camp where you walking around with flip-flops on and socks, talking to them kids, chilling with them kids, telling them what you could do. You could be like me. What I'm saying is you don't have to put your body in harm's way when you know that you have a $150 million deal that's on the table. That's just stupid.
It ain't about the money.
It's not logical.
Why is it stupid? Because he values the interaction, maybe playing with him. He values
this. Have that same
I'm just saying, he values that. It may not be necessarily money. Everything ain't dollars to everybody.
But it ain't making sense either.
Everything ain't dollars to everybody. He feel he might be comfortable. He paid, like Ethan said, he got endorsements, he got money. How much money he got? He might have 50, 60, 70 million in the bank. I don't know.
But now you have 100, put that 60 million with that 150 million. Now you got your $200 million that you setting your family up for a lifetime.
They can already be set up.
Else's kids.
They're already set up.
Yeah, why not? Why not worry about the other kids?
Yeah, y'all, this is so short-sightedness. You living in a moment. I'm not I'm not even saying I would do that. I'm just saying I'm not hating on him for doing that. Y'all being I am though.
See, no, y'all being tunnel vision for the bread. That's what's wrong with most people in the world. They get tunnel vision when they see money. They get dollar signs. They follow the money. That's all they want to do. Follow the money. He like, yo, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. I don't care if not necessarily I don't care, but he like, yo, it's worth it for me to go out here and play with these kids. If I do get an injury, I'm cool. I wrap my career up. I got my money. I'm cool. My family cool. We straight. But it ain't that big of a deal. Y'all chasing dollars for him. He's not even chasing dollars.
It's dollars to be made. Why would you risk something when you can still have the same impact on that child.
First of all, let's be clear. Football.
Playing ball at that early on.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. The $100 million that he may possibly going to sign will probably be the fastest $100 million he can make in his life. I agree. But once you have money, you can make money down the line. Football is not the only way to make money. Let's be clear about it. It's people who made more money after they playing careers because of endorsements and stuff like that. Not endorsements, sorry. Because of smart business moves, people made more after their careers than during their careers. So money can be made. Football is not the only way to make money.
All right. So RJ, what's his name? RJ Griffin. What's his name?
RJ
Griffin.
Lamar Jackson?
No, what's the boy? Griffin the third. What's the boy? I can't think of his name.
Robert.
Yeah.
Robert Griffin the third.
Yeah.
All right, he was kind of similar to him. Now, is anybody knocking on his steps to make a lot of money after he suffered injuries and everything? Is anybody trying to say
he got hurt in the game?
But I'm saying he's hurt though. But you say there's a lot of money to be made after let's say he got hurt. So you got an example of a boy who got hurt. Where's the opportunities all knocking down for Robert?
I don't know. He got money.
He's playing backup for Lamar.
You said what? Backup for who?
He plays backup for Lamar.
How much your backup quarterback make?
Do you
get more? He get more than me and you.
But I'm gonna ask you this though. My thing is, do you know? I don't know what investments does he make. I don't know. He could have made an investment with Dogecoin and got $50 million. I don't know. Like you said,
the tank though.
I'm just saying he could have cashed out. My thing is plenty other ways to make money outside of the NFL.
But I'm saying the easiest way to make money right now.
He could be in real estate
to just chill for a month until you sign your deal.
It's the easiest way. But he rather give time for the kids. He love the kids. Giving back to the community.
All right. Well, that was a good conversation. I disagree with y'all take.
I'm not saying I'm just not hating on him for doing it. Like I'm not. I guess everybody just think about the money. You not think about the money. You think about the lives.
I'm thinking about the lives that you.
No, you're not. You think about money first. Then you think about.
No, you could think because it takes money to.
All right, we going around this again.
All right, that was dumb.
Let's see what the comments say. I would love to hear what the comments guys say about it.
Y'all got any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
Bucks and 6.
I like Suns and 7.
I want to see a 7-game series. If I say this, if it goes 7, I'm going with Phoenix, but I can't see the Bucks ending it. It's Tuesday.
All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification button because we go live at any point. If Ben is traded for any particular reason, we're going live immediately. We might be in our car, but we're gonna be going live. So just notice, it's the Ben trade watch. There's a draft coming up next month, so we'll see where we pick. I know we picked like in the late 20s. So until then, we'll see y'all in our next podcast. We are out.
I'll let you.